Welcome back, fans and friends, for this upcoming video. I found randomly on the shelf, and out of the blue, they had a bunch of them. So I'm not going to say that they had just this one. They had a bunch of them, and I didn't look up until now how old this is, but it's 2021 Maisto. Obviously, we've done very few of these on the channel, just the SVT Cobra so far. Because it's not that I have a conflict with their scaling, it's because A, they don't make ones that I want, and B, the ones that they do make that I do want, they make them so misshapen, I don't want them anymore. So this one was reasonably close looking, and so why am I hiding it? It's because its car is very expensive and difficult and hard to find. It is a 1987 Buick Grand National. They also had a different one. This is their Muscle series, so Maisto design, Muscle series 8 plus. 164 scale, obviously. There's their shield design from the Buick. It's similar to the M2 ground pounders, where they've squeezed the car a little bit, made it a little bit taller, and misshapen it. The Gen X of this, and it was $2 more, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to see how this goes. I'm hoping the hood opens, so that's one of the reasons I have it. This is I want to say, the last gap of the muscle car era, but there are some things I do like about it. Maisto, like I said, is not very commonly on this channel. It's simply because they don't have A, things I want, and B, they're not very common. I believe this was from Toys R Us. Walmart will usually have stuff there 3-4 years old, and then it just stays there. Anyway, so the Grand National comes like similarly, we brought this up before, green light will come in the little plastic clamshell. Obviously, it is extremely simpler in design. And we have here MT13071. I guess that's its production number. I don't see anywhere else this number to reference, like green light. We do the limited edition and all that other stuff, but this one doesn't have it. So maybe on the underside of it, it will have it. We will see in about 30 seconds. I do like the matte black. It is entirely reminiscent of the Black Bandit series from Greenlight. And I must say, this is very well held in there. You're afraid you're going to damage it, not while it is in its packaging. So the hood does not open. So that's a little bit of a letdown, considering, like I said, I better check before I say anything. Yeah, it does not open. So the SVT Cobra, one of the best parts about it was the opening hood. This one, unfortunately, like I just said, does not have an opening hood. Other than that, it does look okay. Two-door coupe model of the car. We have, once again, it is written there. I want to say sort of legibly. And what it says, I have no idea. But we have Falcon tires written on the side of the car. Sorry, not the side of the car, the side of the wheels. And the wheels are done mostly evenly. They are not the usual I rag on M2 and the last one, the SVT Cobra, the widened drag car wheels. They are not that at all. We have 12213. So I saw a similar number, but obviously it is not a. This is a Toys R Us reference number, not a Maisto design and a limited edition and sticker number. So we have Maisto obviously right there. We have www.maisto.com. We have very simple drive shaft. We have 1987 Buick Grand National used under license, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's the dual exhaust on the side. There's the screws. You do get rear mirror, so that's nice. Everything, it's written plainly, maybe a little bit more plainly on this side than that side. Let me just check. I will leave that for another deal, but you do get two-piece tires. So I didn't quite bring this up with the last one, but the rubber / plastic / material they use for these wheels does come off all four. So this is one of the things that they appear to do really well, because all four tires appear to have Vulcan written on them. Really easy to read. And the TNA for the tires is clear as well. Just moving to the back, like I said, it says Maisto and then muscle underneath it. Otherwise quite plain. We can clearly see through the cabin from all directions. Every single window is closed. The front is done in multiple tones. There you have Buick. Although there's no symbol in the front, all the lights are nice and evenly done. Front license plate, nothing on it. That's fine, because we do have something on the back plate. So I'm willing to look past that. You get rear mirrors and everything seems to be okay. Just a little bit of an issue on the back plastic there. It's not super serious. If you're going to leave it in the package, you probably wouldn't even notice because of the glare off the rest of the packaging. So otherwise, like I said, the huge disappointment here would be the hood not opening. It wasn't super expensive. In fact, I think it was the same price as the Ultra Hots that I got a while ago. Is it better or worse? You know what? Considering a Johnny Lightning Buick GNX or Grand National itself, this is 1987. Obviously, they ran it since 1983, I think. So it's not terribly expensive. Those ones, Johnny Lightning will run you for like $18 to $25. So it's almost 4 times more than what this cost. So if you're looking for a cheap rendition of the Grand National, you don't want to blow the bank, and you're okay with the matte black paint, everything else appears to be done nicely. Like, I have no complaints. You have the panoramic lights there, done well. You have something on the license plates. All 4 wheels. Car's built for racing, so it goes. There is a bit of a wobble, but I mean, more or less, I don't believe people will be using these things to roll around. You can just see why the outer edges of the tire are wider than the inner edges. And the reason for that, perhaps, is because the wheels are not centered. It's not important. I apologize for that. It's not important. But otherwise than that, like I said, you're getting what you pay for. It's about 2.5 times the price of a Hot Wheels. But it's way better. I saw the picture of the Grand Nationals that Hot Wheels offers, and they're probably nowhere near as good as this one. And no paint scuffs, nothing like that. So they've done that really well. It feels very plasticky. So don't know if I would call this a die cast. Do people call it die cast? By the way, there's the reference number we saw on the plastic on the interior. It does not have anything in terms of what we should be recycling and where things go, so I assume it is not. It is all plastic. It is reasonably heavy, but just to feel like the only thing I'm getting that's metal may be the bars in between, but it could be metal. Just extremely light. I'd say a third lighter than a green light I have here with me. So I don't want to keep rambling on, but I do now have a Grand National, and it wasn't overly expensive. Just happened to randomly pop up on the shelf. Like I said, Maisto often does vehicles that don't look really good. In terms of their aesthetics and their non-hot roddiness, I prefer it not really as much towards the original. I have a bunch of cars here that I actually prefer their STP coloring or whatever it is. But I don't want the ones with like the cutouts here and the weird shaping hoods and everything else. It's just not the aesthetic I go for. Plain and simple gets the job done, so why not just go with that? So, fans and friends, thank you for sticking through this long rambling video about a barely known car. But if you're looking for a Grand National and 1/64 scale that will not break your bank account nor make you regret the purchase on the drive home, then perhaps try Maisto for once if they happen to see them on the shelves. Like I said, where I was, they had a bunch of them. Plus the GNX. The only reason I didn't get the GNX is because it just looked terrible and it was $1 more than this. So, once again, I apologize for rambling on and on. This is Thomas from Toronto. Thanks for watching, and until the next one.